Boom. That. Put some music on for you guys. Roll intro. Hey, how's it going, everyone? GC Performance here, back with a video. First and foremost, I just want to say happy holidays, Merry Christmas to everyone. It is currently December 29th. We're very close to a new year. 2022 is almost behind us. It moved very, very fast. In today's video, we're going to be talking about what we can expect for the bicycle industry in 2023, my predictions on what I think is going to happen in that, which you guys will not want to miss, and also talk about what these manufacturers and other distributors are doing currently in today's market that maybe is beneficial to you as consumers, or if you guys are also, I realize that a lot of you guys are dealers who watch my stuff as well, maybe give you guys some insight on what I think is going to happen in the industry. So just want to say thank you, because I did do a video recently. I talked about how the bicycle industry has a big problem coming, and basically gave my kind of again, insight on the industry, what I've experienced, what I've been handled with and treated with these manufacturers, and now these pricing discounts, and what these people want us to buy and everything like that. And the amount of support I got from other dealers that reach out to me through a comment, through an Instagram DM, through an email was insane. I didn't realize how many people are going through similar experiences with me. So I love it. I love hearing that type of one. I don't love it, but I love hearing that we're like a family almost, and this retailer family that we've all going through it. And it feels good to know that someone's there for you going through it and they've experienced the same thing. So I really do appreciate. I actually got a comment that I pulled up right here that really hit home for me. No, it's a different one. That's a different one. Hold on, we're gonna get there. This one really hit home for me. I absolutely loved it. Basically just said, I'll read it for you guys. Hello, I've been in the industry for 30 years, and at this point, nothing shocks me. We're a small family-owned bicycle shop in Summerfield, North Carolina, so when it started to get slow, we felt it. I said in April of 2020 that it was a bike bubble, and we needed to prepare for the backside of the storm, which I as well. When it started to crash, we were lucky because my bicycle stock was low, and I kept it in control. We're heavy on parts, but I'm okay with that because I feel long-term repairs will be the sweet spot. A lot of people are going more service than anything nowadays. So in this new market we are in, the field dealers need to network and trade between themselves, even go in together to buy bulk at a discount. The smart ones will weather the storm, but I'm afraid that when the dust settles, we will lose dealers and a brand or two. The 90s taught us a lesson, then the baby boomers burst showed us in 2012 that things can change for the bad overnight. Be strong, my fellow dealer friends. Together we will get through this. And I mean, that hits the nail on the head right there. As a shop, we've been there for about 40 years. I've seen similar conditions in 2008 with the recession that happened there as well. And a lot of people said this to me. A lot of people in the industry said this to me. They said, hey, the bicycles industry usually does pretty well during recessions. But during that 2008 recession, our dollar was very weak, while other countries' dollar was still kind of strong. So these other countries were able to come into the United States, buy these bikes, all of our high-end stuff, and then they would take it back to their country and sell it. This is not the case for this one. That's probably going to come up in 2023, this recession, if we call it, whatever's going to happen. We'll have to see what happens. But this time around, everyone's dollar is very weak. Everyone has overstock problem. Everyone's inflation rate is really high. Everyone's interest rate's really high. So it's not just like a United States recession. It's like a global recession. So that's what we were trying to talk about. We were talking to some big headwigs over in the industry, just talking about, hey, do we think that the bicycle industry will kind of thrive like it did in 2008 recession? We'll have to see. I don't think so, but we'll have to see. But anyways, let's get into the video. So, the bicycle industry is still pushing product very, very hardcore. There are still plenty of deals. In my video that I did where I talked about the bicycle industry has a big problem coming, I really heavily focused on the amount of discounts that were going on for Black Friday. Crazy discounts that we weren't seeing before. Pretty much discounts were unheard of for the past 2 years, because any bicycle store that had something in stock, it was either one, hard to get, two, you couldn't order it. So dealers were basically charging full MSRP for the product, and discounts were unheard of for consumers. But during the Black Friday week, or also the whole month of November, big name brands, Competitive Cyclists, JBI, Quality, big stores as well, I think Mike's Bikes, they're running massive discounts. And even I was first to say this in the video. I said, hey, this is, yes, a discount for Black Friday. They're trying to push and clear out inventory to get ready for the new year. But I had a feeling that this was going to continue on. And lo and behold, This is competitive cyclist today. And this exact crank that I used in my video as example, this is a SRAM Red Dub 12-speed crankset. This is a very common size crankset. This is a 172.5 crank arm with a 4835 tooth chainring. This thing is still 35% off. When I showed the video before, it was 40% off. They're still keeping it at 35% off, which is pretty crazy. Which one means that they're either trying to move product to get money back, because these discounts are very steep. Me as a retailer, if I was to sell this to someone for 35% off, I would probably not be making any money. It'll probably actually cost you money to sell this to someone. So them being able to move it, I know they're an online dealer, I know they're direct to consumer, but them being able to move it for this price tells me one of two things. One, they're either, it's gonna sound bad, but they're either hurting for money and they want money quick. Two, there could be hinting at a new SRAM group set and they have just an excess amount of inventory for SRAM and they want to get rid of some stuff. Or three, again, they're just hurting for money and they want to clear out some inventory. They rather have inventory. They rather have liquid cash than inventory going into a rougher year, which is normal. And then even here, they're still running a whole 50% off component sale of Zip, SRAM, RockShox, and more. And to be honest with you, me being in the industry for so long, this was one of the first years for Black Friday where we actually had big name manufacturers like SRAM, like Scott, like Quality reaching out to us and saying, hey, these are our Black Friday deals. Before, on Black Fridays, they would never have like a dedicated sheet or say, hey, push this. This was like the first year where like, hey, we got access to this. You can run this sale. You can do this. And that really put a light on our ass because we're like, hey, do they want to move all this product? Is there a reason why? Is there a reason why they're doing this all of a sudden now? And maybe the alarm was ringing pretty soon. So I don't know. That was just the case for that. But yes, we're still noticing an excess amount of inventory in certain spots. And we're still noticing heavily discounted items across the board. And this has been something that I've talked to other dealers as well. And this is a pretty important part here. I've noticed a lot of these companies have even got rid of their MAP. And what their MAP is, it is their minimum advertised price. So, and this is throughout the whole industry. They're basically saying, hey, you can run whatever kind of deals you want on these bikes, move the excess of what we have, that we have ample amount of supply. It's not through the whole line, but they're saying whatever you got these bikes in here for, if you have it on your floor, you can move them forever you want for the rest of the year, get rid of them. We have an excess amount of them. So that's the case on that. And just so we're clear, we obviously know there's certain bikes out there like the Giant Propel, like the SL7 and S-Works, like the Trek Madone, like the really highly sought after bikes. Those bikes are still very hard to get, yes, but if you go to any other category like a mountain bike, full suspension, hardtail, hybrids, those are the categories that you're seeing crazy amounts of stock in. And those are amounts of bikes that we're seeing people not buy because my guess is that during that COVID period, that whole 2 years, the people who wanted a new bike bought that new bike, and the people who wanted to upgrade a bike upgraded their bike and sold their other bike. And now that you have all these new people with all these new bikes that were only riding with their families at the time or riding whatever, they have these bikes and they went back to their normal lives. Maybe their gyms open up, maybe their jobs open up, maybe they endeavored into something else. Now they have this bike that they bought for a decent amount of money and they want to move it. So then the used market gets saturated. People are buying used bikes instead of new bikes because of the good deals. And then you have this excess amount of bikes being brought into dealers that are placed on back orders, and it just becomes pretty much like a clogged hole. It just gets bottlenecked. So it is pretty crazy. So for 2023, one of the biggest things I'm going to probably take a guess at here is that I'm going to follow the running suit of in 2022. We saw a lot of these big name corporations like Trek, Specialized, these big name bicycle powers in the industry buying up mom and pop shops and becoming like a Trek store or a Specialized store or another store, whatever it is. I got a feeling that's going to continue in 2023. You're going to see a lot of people exit the bicycle industry that made their money, that don't want the headache right now because it is becoming a struggle, or it is becoming harder than what it was, and people don't want to fight for it. So I got a feeling that you're going to see a lot of people exit the bicycle industry that are able to do so, and you're going to see a lot of these people like Trek stores or like a Specialized store go into that area. I hear that all the time now. I hear people saying that all their mom and pop stores that opened up that used to be Specialized got bought up by Trek. I heard of Specialized concept stores being opened up around me down the street, like 40 miles down the way. And I do think this is kind of a running theme, and this is my prediction for this. I don't know if you guys remember when cell phones were first coming out. They had a lot of these small mom and pop cell phone shops. You go on there, you get a cell phone from there, whatever it is, and then all of a sudden, T-Mobile, Sprint, AT&T, Verizon, they're like, we don't need them. We'll just go ahead and buy them and make our own store, and then we get all the money. We don't have to sell to retailers. And this is what I kind of feel like is going on now. I don't know how many mom and pop shops will stay open. I got a feeling the really, really good ones, or maybe the enthusiast ones, or whatever they're going to be, they'll stay there. But I got a feeling that you're going to see a lot of these people like Trek and Specialized come in and strong arm these dealers to go ahead and take over their spot. And that way they can have and control that area and see what happens. But a lot of people reach out to me and said, hey, it got tougher for them. One of our buddies down the street, the bike shop, got a great offer from a dealer, and they're like, hey, I'm just gonna take it. So I don't know, it's getting kind of scary out there. So to wrap this thing up in 2023, what I think is gonna happen is this is what I think is gonna happen. Sorry about that, my wife called me. I had to go help her out. So in 2023, here's what I think is gonna happen. I think that the bicycle industry is gonna get close to back to normal as possible in this year. And what I mean by that is that, you remember back in the day when you used to be able to go into a bike shop, tell them you're looking for a bike, they can go on their dealer website, they can kind of pick out the size and color. I think that's going to get back to a point where you're going to see the dealers or the dealers be able to order off of their manufacturer's website. I think the manufacturer's going to I think they're going to be strongholded into again, but have a well-versified amount of inventory in stock on, let's say, Trek.com or Specialized.com, where you came into my store, you said, I'm looking for a tarmac. I can go there, I can say, hey, they have this in stock, they have this color, they have this size. We can go ahead and order it. I'll be here in 5 days. I don't think there's going to be much of any more of crazy wait times. I don't think there's going to be much of any more kind of crazy prices on there. The prices will go down, obviously, with the economy, depending on where you're at in the world. With inflation, they're obviously going to go down compared to how the world economy is. It's not going to be anything crazy of a discount, but it will go down to kind of what they've always been. And bicycles, if you guys do remember, were always an expensive hobby. I mean, before the pandemic, still, a pro of a Specialized tarmac was still $6,900. It's still $7,000 for a bike compared to $9,000. You have $7,000, you can muster up $9,000 somewhere. So it's still kind of crazy there. But I do think that they will have inventory back in stock for you guys to come in there and readily go into a bike store and not get hit with, I don't know what's going to be in stock. Also, I did hear that it's not just the bicycle industry. It's pretty much every single outdoor sports store out there that got affected with the same thing. ATVs, dirt bikes, campers, cars, all the stuff that everyone was utilizing to use outdoors during the pandemic, they're all going through the same wave as well, where they were having shipping woes, they were having crazy demands for them. So I know that they're all kind of feeling the struggle as well right now. I know car dealerships were especially feeling the struggles right now. I'm seeing car deals right now that prices that literally used to be $20,000 more for, like, my buddy bought a truck for $60,000 used, and the price of it at CarMax was $60,000. 6 months went by, now it's at like $40,000. It's crazy. But yeah, I do think that you go to these places, like if we check out Canyon right here, they have a Canyon Aero Road in stock. You can go to the Aero Road CFR ETAP, and you can get this bike in stock right now, which these bikes were impossible to find during the pandemic. So I think we're going to see a lot more of this happening. So let me know what you guys think. What do you guys expect for 2023? Do you guys expect this to be any better, any worse? Let me know if you want me to do more videos like this in the future. And hopefully we all weather the storm. There's not too many casualties here, and we can kind of get back to normal. I liked the bicycle industry before the pandemic too. It didn't need to be all this wheeling and dealing. I liked the enjoyment of normal stock levels. You know, it can get back to that. Hopefully we kind of get a lid on it. The manufacturers go back to what they're doing. The dealers go back to what they're doing. Consumers buy product. Everyone's happy. So hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.